This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Arvada, Colorado. I'm here at Yak and Yeti, a restaurant and brew pub. Since 2002, they have provided award-winning Indian food and beer made all right here on the premises. I'm here with the social media manager as well as the owner, founder. Thanks, guys, for joining us here today. I have to start out with the owner here. Let's begin a little bit about your background. Honestly, you began your culinary formal training in India. You did some apprentice work there. You basically worked at some very well-known restaurants, be it from Delhi to Dubai, now to Colorado. That's a pretty wide span. Share with me a little bit how this got started for you and what brought you to Colorado to bring us this.
Right. I'm from Nepal. I born in Nepal. Then I went to India when I was 12 years old. My my family didn't have enough money to send me to school or, didn't have enough food in a village. So I decided to go India, New Delhi, 12 years old. Then after that, after 5-6 years, I learned in India with my boss and Indian family to learn cooking. I was a cook from the 12 years. Then they took me to Dubai, 1991. Then I worked for them for a couple of years, cooking in Dubai. Then after that, they brought me in the U.S., 1994. Then they brought me in New York first time. And I would try to find the job. I was working really hard and try to make a paperwork, everything. And one of my boss, Nepali family, the Indian restaurant owner, they said he's a good cook and I want to take him in Boulder, Colorado. So I came in Boulder, 1996. So I work hard and I make, paperwork. They sponsor me as a chef. And then I built some money in my account. And 2002, I started my own restaurant.
And we started your own restaurant. That is a fantastic story. Basically, a long journey to get where we are here today. We're not talking about 4 locations serving the state of Colorado here, people here in Denver. I mean, let me ask you, this is really India meets Colorado. I mean, this is kind of a unique pairing, if you will. Is it pretty exciting to share that out there on social media? And are people kind of surprised when they walk in and see what they find?
Absolutely. When I first discovered the Yak and Yeti, it was 2002, and I was blown away by the food. It was so incredible, and immediately made friends with Dole. And from there, anytime I could help, anytime I could do anything, I got involved because I wanted to be around this food. It was so good. So it just kept up that way, and now I'm, social media manager. I try to keep everything as fresh and exciting as possible so people can see what we have to offer here. And when they come in, some people come in a little skeptical. They leave a believer.
That is exciting. I mean, like you say, you love the food. What do you think it is about Indian food that you don't have to be of Indian culture? I mean, I love the food. I've gone in and tried it before. What is it you think it is that makes people kind of gravitate towards it and want more?
Well, I think that good food is good food. It doesn't matter where it comes from. But with this food in particular, Dole has spent so much time training, and then on top of that, he's taken his family recipes that have been cultivated for generations and just has made the perfect combination of spices and everything, and it just you walk up to the building and you can smell the spices, and you're like, I'm ready to order before you get in the door. So
that is fantastic. Like you say, we're talking about recipes that were handed down through the generations. This is authentic Indian food. Let's jump right into this menu. It's pretty extensive. Let's start off with the appetizers here. If there was an appetizer that basically you think is a favorite amongst the folks out there, what would you recommend? And tell me a little bit about it.
My personal feelings is the tandoori chicken wings. Absolutely fantastic. Vegetable samosas, everybody loves. What do you think, Dole? What's the best?
Yeah, chicken wing is really, a lot of people like that, and pakoda, chicken pakodas, has a gluten-free, like a chickpea batter. We don't use a wheat or, so a lot of people can have it. It's healthy.
Something I see on the menu here that maybe folks out there won't know about is something called chat. What is that? Explain that a little bit to me.
I'm going to pass that.
Yeah, people don't understand. We just explain them our way, and then sometimes we have buffet and a lot of dishes out there, and people can try different things, and they decide what they need to order. And we have a lot of regular. They already know what they need to be ordered.
So they basically know when they come in. For someone who's never been in before, maybe never tried the food before, an appetizer, a good place to start. Would that be a platter possibly to kind of get a good mix?
Mixed platter, and they can have free sample, and they can try what they like it, then they decide.
Excellent. As we move a little bit into the entrees, I mean, first of all, I see entrees that obviously have meat in them, but I also have entrees for vegetarians. Tell me a little bit about the main entrees, and what do you think also is a favorite that people might want to come in and try?
Well, if you haven't tried Indian food before, the chicken tikka masala is probably the American favorite. And if you're ordering off the menu, because you have the, certain days you have the option of the buffet as well. But if you're ordering off the menu, make sure you specify whether you want it mild, medium, or spicy, because spicy is spicy and it's fantastic. So definitely you want to push that. But the shrimp vindaloo is fantastic. Tandoori chicken, tandoori anything. My personal favorite, tandoori salmon is fantastic. But yeah, they're really all great. But if you come in on a night when they've got, or a day when they've got the buffet, you get a chance to kind of sample a few things, and then you know the next time you come in what you want to get a full plate of.
I think that is right. That's a great way to try out Indian food, is the fact that a buffet, you have a lunch buffet, a dinner buffet. Tell me what they're going to kind of pick up on the buffet there, and does it change daily, or is there some that are kind of the staples that are always there?
Well, there are some staples. You've got, for instance, the chicken tikka masala is a staple. The chicken tandoori is a staple. There's usually multiple vegetarian things. There's also a salad bar. You can get different kinds of salad. Did you want to add to?
Yeah, you know that the way we cook Indian food, it's not a real like South Indian or something like that. We mix the spice. Nepal has a very light spice, and India has a very rich. We became a between. So that's our secret. So we cook a really little different than in India. So people can digest, have a light flavor, they can handle that. So that's why we cook those kind of quality.
For folks out there that maybe not sure what they want, I mean, are the waiters and waitresses able to help you through it a little bit? I mean, I know it took me a while to find the chicken marsala. You're right. That's what I ended up with, and I loved it. Is that something that they enjoy here, kind of educating the folks also that maybe have never tried Indian food before?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can speak to any of the staff here, and every once in a while, because a lot of the staff here come from Nepal as well. So if there is any kind of language barrier, there's always someone that's fluent here that can, and a lot of times it's other customers. They are evangelists for this place as well, and they'll always jump in and say, "This is what you need."
Kind of like you, but you got the actual position job to get out there and spread it, which is kind of neat. I mean, soup. Is Indian food known for soup, and does this come with a side of bread? Share with me a little bit about that.
Well, down the buffet, there's two soups. There's the chicken noodle soup, and which is a little more spicy than a normal American chicken soup, and bigger chunks of vegetables and everything in there as well. It's great. The coconut soup is fantastic. I love that. It's a little more spicy as well. Lots of vegetables. It's a good vegetarian soup. And those are great. But anytime you get the buffet, you get a side of non-bread with it. That's a good way to get addicted to it.
I mean, like you said earlier, he has worked many years to get the perfect balance of spice, not spice. I see jalapeno on the menu quite a bit. I see onions used quite a bit. Are these all original type of recipes that people would find in India if they actually went there?
Yes, Indian spice, especially the onion, garlic, ginger, and turmeric powder, and all the cumin, and all the kind of spice, and all the natural, it's nothing like a frozen item or anything, and came from India directly. They ship it from India, and then we cook like a kind of organic spice.
What's great about a place like this, like we said before, it's a pretty unique experience because you want great food, you've got it there. But what also makes this unique is the fact that this is a brewery. I mean, this is a place where you can actually find beer, signature beer that you make right here. Tell me a little bit about the head brewer down there, and what are we going to find?
Well, before this was a Nepalese restaurant, it was the Cheshire Cat brew pub. And so all the equipment was here when he moved in. So he thought, you know what? maybe I should think about having some Indian and Nepalese inspired brews. The brewmaster right now is Jeff. Is his name Jeff Tyler? Yeah. And he spent some time, most of his drinking years in Boston, but he has done just an amazing job of creating some fantastic brews and created Spice Trade Brewery. So it's a fantastic way to pair some great alcoholic beverages with your meal.
Yeah, just we won the gold medal 2010 Great American Beer Fest, Himalayan IPA. Then we want to start a chai beer. Then we decide to create a chai spice. We make a chai tea, all the the cardamom, all the the cinnamon, all the flavor spices. Then we put together all the spices. Then we made a chai milk stout, and that got a lot of people like it. That go with the Indian food. So we
award-winning food, award-winning beer. I see quite a few pools down there of your own stuff. What's nice though, this is a full-on bar. I mean, we're talking full-on bar with mixed drinks. So you're not stuck with just beer. If that's not what you want, you've got a little bit of everything. Is that important for folks?
Absolutely, especially since the fact that it used to be an Irish brew pub. It's great that a lot of those old customers became new customers here, and they just stayed. And a part of that is because of the fact that the bar is open down there and it carries everybody's favorites. So, if you've got a favorite drink you like, you're going to get it here.
In your country, children are cherished. Is this a family-friendly restaurant where we can actually bring in the kids and obviously not going to have any beer, but maybe some honey ginger soda or something like that?
Yes, honey ginger soda are really good. We use organic ginger and honey, and it's a really good. A lot of people like it if they don't drink. I don't drink myself too. I never started. So this is a really good one.
Tell me a little bit about the facility before we let you go. We're talking about 2 stories here. I see like multiple rooms. This is a great place to even have a private business meeting if you want. If you want the privacy of your own little place, it's kind of neat. And also even a patio outside. This seems almost like a perfect fit for what they put together here.
Absolutely. I mean, this is an old Victorian house, and this house has an amazing history. And in fact, the haunted history of this place is another huge draw for a lot of people. It's very cool here. But all of the locations do have areas that you can rent out for events, and it's great because you get all this fantastic food and the drinks and everything to go with a great environment. So you can have meetings here, you can have wedding receptions. There's been all kinds of things that have gone on here and the other locations.
Like we said before, it was a long journey. You basically worked very hard to get to basically where you're at today. 4 locations serving folks here. Does this continue to be rewarding for you as you see new people who are exposed to the Indian food that maybe they never would have been before?
Right. Yeah. This is Indian food, the way we cook, and people, our like a family and a friend, they're helping us. They keep coming. They build, our relationships. So they really like the food and beer, so we really try to treat them from inside, from bottom of heart, so like a family. So I think that's making us growing every year.
Matthew, you really became part of the Yak and Yeti family. This was a story that probably inspired you, food that inspired you. Now that you've seen it basically be a part of the community, is it important that the organization gives back, and in what ways are you able to do that?
Well, I have to say that Dole is the best human that I know. He is just a fantastic human being. I mean, he has this rags to riches story where he came from horrible poverty and, worked his way from 12 years old all the way through several countries to get to America, to get to Colorado, and then to Denver to open his own businesses. This is the American dream. And it's fantastic. And the thing is now that he's successful, he's constantly raising money to send back to schools for Nepal to get them built up so they can. That was one of his biggest complaints, is that he hated the schools there when he was growing up. They were terrible. So he's worked really hard to raise money to send money back to help with the poverty in Nepal. And the thing is he never says anything about it. So I only catch little bits of information about it. But anything you want to reveal on that? Any more you're doing?
Yeah, in Nepal, I'm back in Sangja village where I grow. So 1,100 children, they're going to school. I send them money for 3 schools three different schools. There is 1,100 children. So when they need a book and they need a pen, whatever, who is the best student, they get a award, those kind of things. I'm the one responsible. I'm helping them. Even that happened a couple years back, earthquake. I built 22 houses. I sent the money for 22 houses for 22 families. So they were very happy. I try to help them as much as I can. So
I'm glad you mentioned that, Matthew. We're talking about great food and a great story. Obviously a treat for the folks here in Arvada as well as the other locations everywhere. Not only can people come in and enjoy the food, but know that they're doing their part. I mean, they're making a difference out there in the world.
I want to add one more thing. I study my education on only 4th grade total. And in Nepal, the English is taught 4th grade. 1 year English class. And 6-month ESL class in Boulder, Manhattan High School. 6-month ESL class. That's all I did my education. But thing is, honest and hard work, and just positive, think positive, get advice from heart, help them as much you can. I think that make you good karma, and God will help you to grow.
That is a fantastic story. And like you say, you were a fan first, and then you became part of the organization. That's a great story. Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you can take a look at a very extensive menu there. We're talking about lunch or dinner. You can even get takeout here as well. If you've got maybe a party out there and you want to get it catered, they can do some catering for you. Check them out. But also go check out the Facebook page, because Matthew's going to keep you apprised of any specials they have going there. He's also going to let you know that basically what is going on down here, which is something that is kind of unique for Arvada and the whole Denver area. This is a brew pub meets Indian food. It's Yak and Yeti since 2002, located right here in Arvada, Colorado. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.